Good evening, everyone. It's 6 p.m., and that must mean it's Talking Turkey time with me, the brand ambassador for JD Farms. Is everybody ready for the weekend? I know I am, and why not have a Friday night pizza party? This pizza party is going to have a bit of a twist because you know what? I'm going to show you how to make a low-carb, keto-friendly, gluten-free pizza crust out of that turkey sausage meat that we had from yesterday. So this one kind of hits a lot of different people's dietary needs, and it's just plain delicious, and it's a great way to build something a little different. I've got, it's Friday night, so of course I've got a little bit of a local cider that's where I live in South Langley, little Fraser Valley. You know, it's like I ordered pizza, so I want to sit down and have some pizza and a nice little drink to celebrate. We made it to Friday, and those of our American friends, you made it to your long weekend that is going to be happening on Monday for you, and we just had our long weekend. I just want to do a little bit of an update from last night's recipe. The little egg boats, when I made mine, I put them in my little toaster oven at 325. They did take about 15 minutes to set up. So just so you're aware, I think in my video I said about 10 minutes. At 325, they got soft set at 15 minutes. If you want a harder yolk, take it to about 20 minutes. And I did put a piece of tin foil on the top, a little piece of nonstick tin foil on the top. So there's a little recipe correction for you. I happen to have mine for breakfast this morning. Had one last night, so I could see that it's a fantastic recipe. And I had the other ones this morning because I had an 8 o'clock Zoom meeting this morning. So I had a great breakfast to start myself off with a good cup of coffee. But now it's Friday night and it's time for pizza. So I'm going to make the crust first, get it into the oven. The pizza shell should cook for about 15 minutes before I put the toppings on, but I'm going to take it out at about 10 so I can show you how I'm going to build the pizza. And you know what? My phone is vibrating. I'm going to just reach up, sorry, my finger here in a second, and make this go quiet. There we go. And in between, I'm going to do a little turkey education because as brand ambassador, I want to educate you why you want to always use JD Farms products. So I've got a pizza pan. This I think these are called Bakelite, or kind of what you the pizza you know, the black enamelware. That's what it's called. These pizza pans have been in my family. Oh, I'm going to say since about 1972-ish, 73-ish. So I happen to have 2 of them. My mom had 8. I'm from a family of 8. And my mom used to have to make 8 pizzas for us. So the crust for this pizza, and then we'll get to the toppings once I get the crust into the oven. I've got 3/4 of a pound of the ground chorizo sausage meat. You could use any of our ground meats, lean ground turkey, just plain. In here I have 4 ounces of shredded mozzarella. Any mozzarella will do. And I've got 2 ounces of cream cheese. And this just happens to be a lactose-free cream cheese for me. And in different recipes that I've made this before, this wasn't in the recipe, but I added it to the recipe. And what it does to help is ground almond flour, about 1/4 cup of ground almond flour. And what that does is it kind of gives a bit of a crumb texture to the shell. And I do have Laura watching. Hi, Laura. Hi, Tina. Thank you for coming along. It puts a bit of a texture, and also when the pizza shell is cooking, any of the little bits of almond that kind of touch the pan, they get a little crispier. So it's kind of that shell. So that goes in, and our binder is an egg. And I happen to live on a farm where I get my eggs for free, like right out that window. So I'm lucky. So what we want to do is get this mixed around. So essentially, guys, oops, and I forgot an ingredient. We want to kick up that Italian flavor. So I have some Italian seasoning, and I'm going to put about a teaspoon of this Italian seasoning in there. And if you take a look on the JD Farms website under dry goods, I believe it is. I was looking at the site today. Boy, have we ever got a lot of stuff that you can order online. You can do all your grocery shopping. Just go to the veggie store. Everything else you can get at JD Farms, from the noodles and spices and Terrell's Table and the Mando seasoning and the jams and the jellies, and oh my gosh, you can get like everything on that website. And remember, easy ordering as well. So what I'm looking for when I'm mixing this around is, I should have taken my cream cheese out a little sooner, so I'm just softening it up. That's another ingredient that I've added to mine in the past, is the cream cheese. And what I find the cream cheese is, when the pizza cools, when it comes out of the oven, the cream cheese kind of melts but then comes back together, so it holds it together really well. Also, it adds a bit of a creamier texture and mouthfeel, almost like dough, but not like dough. Let's not kid ourselves. So there we go. You want to blend it up very, very well. Oh, and we're almost ready there. If anybody's got any questions about this recipe or any of the JD Farms products, please let me know. Okay, so this is what we're kind of looking for, guys. It's well blended. Well blended in. I can't see any little cream cheesy bits. And that looks great. We're gonna get dirty, because you know, if you're making pizza, you'd have to use your hands to make the pizza crust. So let's get this pan, and we're gonna get this on here. And what we want to do is flatten it out to almost, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go imperial here, 1/4 of an inch. So what would that be? 2 centimeters. And you kind of shape it to the shape of what a pizza would be. A pizza shell would be. Just flattening it out. Flattening it out as best I can. And pushing that all out. Making it as even as possible. It's not going to fit the whole pan, and that's okay, because I only had that 3/4 of a pound of the ground chorizo sausage meat. So this would have filled the whole pan. The whole pan had a pound. So nice and flat. Okay. Then what you want to do is just kind of run your finger around the edge and blending it, just so you can kind of make that little bit of the crust around the corner, around the edge, if you want. You could also take and turn it up and go like this, because if you're going to have a bit of a saucier sauce, you want to turn that up. And there we go. We've got a bit of a well that when our sauce goes in. So I'm going to wash my hand and get this in the oven. I have my oven preheated at 370 to 5. Going to put my timer on for about 10 minutes. We're going to get our toppings ready, and we're going to go to Turkey 101 school. Be right back. Gotta wash my hands. I'll be right there. So good prep. Pat Jones is watching. Oh, my aunt is watching from Ontario. Hi, Aunt Pat. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Aunt Pat, if ever you come out to visit me, I'll definitely take you to JD Farms, because it's pretty spectacular. Okay, so let's get our toppings ready. These are the toppings that I had in my own home, and I think they'd be delicious on a pizza crust. I have some JD Farms lunch meat here that I cut really thin. I had a big chunk of it. And you know what I used to cut it nice and thin? I took my cheese knife, because I like to buy a chunk of lunch meat because I use it for lots of different stuff. And I just ran my cheese knife. So I have these nice little strips. So this is maybe 2 ounces of lunch meat. And I had left over from yesterday's recipe the ground turkey that I mixed with the carrots and the celery and all those great spices. Why not put that on top? Got a little shallot. Let me put my camera down. Whoops. I just lost you there for a second. Put the camera down. Got a little shallot. I didn't have any onions. I need to go to the farmer's market, probably Ralph's, or over to Nature's Pickings to get some fresh vegetables. So maybe nice and thin. Shallots tend to be pretty intense. So there we got my onions for my topping. I've got some bell pepper. I love bell pepper on a pizza. Because we're going to make when the crust comes out, we're going to build the pizza again, and we're going to put it back in the oven. I'm not putting any more cheese on the top of my pizza. I feel there's enough for the cheese on the inside, and plus I'm going to show you in a second an ingredient I'm going to be putting on the top as my sauce. Okay, so I got my peppers ready. I like a little heat on my pizza, so I'm going to put some chili flake. And last night we had that yellow tomato that with my meat. So I'm going to use a little bit of the yellow tomato. And last night we sauteed the meat in the oil from the sun-dried tomato. So you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to put, these are going to have like a big, powerful flavor. Let's do a couple of the sun-dried tomato to go on the top. Hey, in the comments, why don't you put what are your favorite toppings to go onto pizza? Or we could start the debate, the long Canadian family debate. Does pineapple belong on a pizza? Discuss amongst yourselves. So there is my sun-dried tomato is ready to go on my pizza. And this is something that I made the other night. I had some power greens. I'm going to put the camera up a little bit more because I'm only seeing half my head here. You know the little bin of mix that you get that has the spinach, Swiss chard, and kale in it, the baby spinach. So I made up a bit of a pesto, and this has got almond, Parmesan cheese, garlic, the power greens, a little bit of jalapeno in there, and some lemon juice. Did I put something else in there? And of course the olive oil in there. So I thought, why not use this as my pizza sauce? Plus the cheese that's in here is going to melt up and be just fantastic. Did I put my timer on? I didn't. Did somebody see what time it was when that went in there? So if somebody at 5 minutes that is watching. Oh, Heather says ham, pineapple, and cheese. Oh, we got a ham and pineapple person on. I don't know. I kind of like it, but it's got to have some heat, like some banana peppers on it, because I find the pineapple is too sweet on a pizza. But I don't know, Heather. You might convert me there. So I've got all my toppings ready to go. So let's do a little bit of Turkey 101. Okay, so JD Farms, I pulled this directly from our website. If you haven't been over to our website, jdfarms.ca, and do your order and then come back and peek around a little bit, because this is amazing. And this is why I chose, and Jason and Marilyn and Jack and Jennifer chose me as their brand ambassador, because these items are so important to me. Number one important to me, I want to look the people in the eyeballs that are making my food. I want to ask the tough questions to know that what I'm putting into my body is awesome, great food. And they care as much about the turkeys as the turkeys care about them. So the turkeys are raised at JD Farms. They're a specialty certification, and it took a long time for that certification to happen. So they're fed a natural diet of grains, vitamins, and minerals without any antibiotics or animal byproducts. So when you see about animal byproducts, there's a lot of feeds out there that will take animals that are no longer with us and grind it up and put it in with the feed. That is just nasty. That doesn't happen at JD Farms, okay? The turkeys are raised in spacious, well-ventilated barns with free access to water and a constant supply of fresh feed. That means no cages, no crates, and they're allowed to just be their little turkey selves in the barns, making around, having water, having really good feed. And the diet brings the highest quality and exceptional flavor. So those of you that are out there that have ever had a JD Farms whole turkey, or even the turkey pieces, or any piece of the turkey, you just know if you've served it to someone who's never had our turkey before, they will go, what the heck is this? This is so delicious. And that's because it has been raised with love, care, attention, and amazing like thought process to how they are being fed and looked after. So a non-GMO grain feed, what does that mean? It means that the grains that are created to make the feed, okay, they're not GMO. So that is fantastic. They are getting a pure good grain. It shows in our products. No animal byproducts, antibiotic free, exceptional flavor. And these are the two things that I want you to go onto our website over the next couple of 3 days, because there's a hyperlink to it. Stringent certification process. You click on there and you see, oh my gosh, it goes on for a long time and it's a great read. And the fellow who is in the picture, I happen to have met him and had a conversation with him last summer at a function. And he said, I come out constantly and I'm keeping on top of JD Farms with the qualifications that they have to go through to keep that certification. And he said, I have books and books and books and books of documentation of them keeping on top of it. And then the Animal Global Partnership, so GAP. I was on their website because that was something a little new for me. And stringent. It starts with number 1, GAP, as they call it. And that's where I said no crates, no cages. They are just allowed to be little turkeys. And that means they're going to be happy turkeys. You know, if you've ever heard that terminology, you know, a happy animal makes for us to be happy and for us to be grateful. So something a little bit in the future, if you're shopping for a turkey, or when you're shopping, not if, for your turkey for Easter or Thanksgiving, both American and Canadian, and Christmas time, we have a lot of fresh birds. There's no need to give us a call because we anticipate the need and make sure that we have lots of fresh birds for you. So there's a little bit of Turkey 101 about JD Farms. And did you know the J and the D stand for Jack and Debbie? So there you go. And of course, pretty special. And this is why the value of eating our foods that we have, and even the other ingredients that we carry in our stores, the noodles and the breads and the spices and the Crowsberry Farms and the Nosh low carb, all those items, they meet up to the standard of what our turkeys are. So pretty spectacular with JD Farms. I'm hearing my crust sizzling, so let's go get the crust, and I'm going to build this pizza. Stay tuned. Oh my gosh, you wish there was smell-o-vision. Okay. So I'm going to bring the camera kind of over to here. I hope you can see. Oh, and I set the smoke alarm off. Woohoo! Yikes, I've never done that before. Hang on. Whoops, hang on. Hang on. This is real TV. Real TV. I'm back. Wasn't that exciting? Okay, as you can see, the cheese is kind of melted and it got a little crispy on the bottom. I did have the temperature about 400 where I stood at 300 because I wanted to make this a little fast. So let's get building this pizza. Put a little bit of that pesto on. And if you can kind of hear, it's hard. So I'm going to put a little bit of that pesto on there. Okay, let's do a little bit of that yellow tomato, a couple of tablespoons of the yellow tomato on there. Let's get the awesome yellow or orange peppers. You can use green peppers and mushrooms and pepperoni. Let's get that scallion on there. Think of the sweet, the kind of little bit of the heat of the scallion, the kind of richness of these sun-dried tomatoes. And these are all things that I had in my pantry. And get that meat, leftover meat. So if you've got a meat lover in your family, oh my gosh, this is the pizza for them. And by the way, this pizza is really good. Once you eat it, have a slice and keep it in the fridge. Whoops. I'm so excited my camera's doing all sorts of crazy things tonight. Oops. A little bit of that lunch meat on there. There we go. Spread that around. And wipe my hands. And a few chili flakes because I want to kick up the heat. There we go. Okay, guys. So that is pizza. So my keto-friendly, low-carb, gluten-free, meat lovers extraordinaire pizza is going back in the oven because I want to heat up all these ingredients, and that'll be about another 15 minutes at 350 degrees. Really important, you need to let this rest for about 15 minutes to 20 minutes. That way all the cheeses that are in rust are going to kind of come back and go solid. I'm going to cut this up, and I think I'll share it with my friends. My landlord who lives across the street with a nice little glass of cider. Camera back up over to me and over this way. Woo. Well, there you have it. Jeanette Martin, brand ambassador for JD Farms, having some fun in my own home kitchen, setting off alarms, providing education about why JD Farms is the best turkey that you will ever put into your tummies. And we wish you a great long weekend. Again, our American friends. We wish our Canadian friends have a great weekend. Be at home, be safe. Keep practicing social distance, everybody in the world. If you are tuning in from other points in the world, we want all the best for you as well. From my home, God bless. From the JD Farms family, Jack, Jason, Marilyn, and Jennifer, their spouses, their kids. Oh, and let's all, in the comments, if you're watching this now, I would so appreciate this. If you're watching this on the replay, let's do a happy anniversary. It's Jason Froze's 9th anniversary today. So I wish he lived closer because maybe this would have been his anniversary present today. So let's all wish Jason Jason and Amanda a very happy 9th anniversary and many, many more years to come. So enjoy. I will be back on Saturday night with a nice different kind of recipe for you as well. Something that I'm going to make for Saturday night that we'll use it for Sunday. Enjoy the night, everybody. Get some pizza, get some beer if you're over 19 in Canada and 21 in the States, and enjoy. Bye-bye, everybody.